Morning, Jitpa class. So today's sloka in Bhagavad Gita is 9.14, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, sloka number 14. Satatam kirtiyanto mam yatantascha dharvita namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Satatam kirtiyanto mam यतन्तश्च दृढविता नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते. Synonyms: Satatam, always, kirtanyantaha, chanting, mam, about me, yatantaha, fully endeavoring, cha, also, dradvita, with determination, Namasyantah, offering obeisances, cha, and mam, me, bhaktiya, in devotion, nitya yuktaha, perpetually engaged, upasate, worship. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Purport: the Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of Supreme Lord, the Brahma Jyotir, is not described as Mahatma in Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That is devotion. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu and Smaranam, remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve the ultimate end of the association of Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental rasas. To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, everything, in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there is a certain activity which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadasi, on appearance day of the Lord, and all and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatma, uh, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position, anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Hare Krishna. So, in this particular sloka, uh, the the activities which are being performed by a Mahatma, a great soul, is has been discussed. But before going into the activities, let's understand who is Mahatma. For that we'll quickly go to the previous verse and read the translation. So, O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, and under the protection of divine nature, and are under the protection of the divine nature. they are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So here, Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita about the Mahatmas. So who are those Mahatmas? Who are great souls. They are not, they are under the protection of divine nature, and they are fully engaged in devotional service, and they know Supreme Personality as Godhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as, original and inexhaustible, and they are fully engaged in devotional service. So who are these Mahatmas? We can see in our real life, our Guru Maharaj, and there are many senior Vaishnavas who are constantly engaged in devotional service. Those the leaders in our ISKCON forum, and not only in ISKCON, if we go to Brindavan and Mayapur, we will see so many devotees. In our Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya, there are many devotees who have given their lives. They know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whatever they do for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, because they know that is their goal. Because if they deviate from their goal, then Maya will capture them. And that's why when they are focusing on their goal, Krishna is providing full protection to them. And in this particular sloka, it is discussed how what are the activities of those Mahatmas. And we, as a neophyte devotees or as a medico devotees, need to understand these activities so that we can also follow this to get some mercy from Krishna. We can't become Mahatma, but at least we can get some mercy so that we can get some we can get some mercy from Krishna. We can get some mercy from senior devotees. We can get some mercy from Guru, the spiritual master, and under their mercy, under their blessings, we will also reach to God, back to God, home, back to Godhead. So there are four things which are mentioned here: chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, and the last one is worship me with devotion. So these four are, let's consider these are the ladders. If we when we want to go to first floor or the second floor, we use ladders, right? And these are the ladders to uh, for to become a we can't say Mahatma, but at least to follow the footsteps of the Mahatmas, because these are the activities which are being followed by Mahatmas. And if we are also engaged, if we are also getting engaged in these services, we will get mercy. We will get blessings of senior Mahatmas, and then once they provide the mercy, our heart will get pure. And when our heart will get pure, we will get faith in Krishna. And with the faith in Krishna, the love will automatically come. And then when this love to Krishna will come, then we will forget about this world. We will not worry about this, whatever is happening in this world, this material world, what people are saying, what others are saying. We will always keep on thinking about Krishna, and we will think about how we can make Krishna happy. Even the person, when he start loving Krishna, he will not think whether I want to go to Goloka or Vaikunt. His mindset will be, I want to be engaged in the service of Krishna wherever I am. So these four are the ladders, and let's discuss about these four ladders one by one. The first one is chanting my glories. So in sloka, Krishna is mentioning Satatam Kirtiyanto Mam. Satatam means constantly, Nirantar. And like now, when here Krishna is saying Nirantar, constantly, every time, every day, it has to be a continuous process. But then why we have to do chanting only like for 2 hours, 16 rounds? Those 16 rounds chanting are the rounds when we are performing sitting at one place with full focus. But it doesn't mean that we have to do that only. We have to do Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, constantly practicing the kirtan, constantly doing the chanting. That how can we do apart from what we do as 16 rounds? That we can do by remembering Krishna, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. If we are not, if we have so many other activities like as a householder or as a person who goes to office, we can engage our work in such a way so that we are connected to Krishna. For example, if we are working in an office. Some people, if you see in the material world, some people who they are working, they have put their headset and they must be listening to some song and they will be working. In the similar manner, we can also put some what do you call Krishna bhajan, or we can put some lecture, and while listening to the lecture, we can do our work. But if that is not allowed, we can think. I mean, we can think about Krishna while doing the work. Our mind will be engaged in thinking Krishna while our body will be engaged in working. And in any other activity, whatever activity you choose, there will be so many ways to which you can identify yourself. Everyone's position is different, right? How you know better how am I placed in this particular position. And when you are not able to get the best result out of it, go to your Shiksha Guru. I tell him that even though I'm trying this, I'm not able to focus. I am not able to get desired results. So what can I do? Then Shiksha Guru will guide you. They are the representative of the spiritual master. And when they are, since they are the representative, the spiritual master, they are whatever they will guide you, that should be considered as it is coming from the spiritual master. So that way we need to understand and we can reach out to Shiksha Guru. So chanting is not and as I said, you can do kirtan at home. You can engage whenever you have free time. You can read Bhagavatam, or you can do whatever activities, but it should be connected to Krishna. And that way you are continuously engaged in chanting the glories. Chanting, or you can, whenever you are speaking to someone, you can speak about Krishna. Even if you are speaking to non-devotees, if there is an opportunity, start preaching. That way we are engaged in the chanting of glories of Lord Krishna. Second one is determination. Determination is something which you have. I didn't let's say, like, I have decided, okay, this thing I have to do, and you have full determination to do this, and you are not disturbed by any other factor. That is called determination. Let's take an example. These sportsmen, you can take any name, or any or these people who participate in Olympics happens in 4 years, right? And those players who are participating in Olympics, they are not they cut themselves out from the world. They constantly practice for by keeping their goal, the Olympic medal, as their goal, right? They have to go through so much of trouble. When I say trouble, they need to follow a certain particular diet. They have to follow certain rules and regulations. Their coach, they will tell, you should not eat this, you should not eat this, you need to follow this, you need to come at you need to get up at this particular time, you need to run this much hours. There are so many strict rules, and they are still following those strict rules. And by following those strict rules, they are able to get the desired results. In the similar manner, for devotees also have to go through certain rules. If we are not following the rules, if we are not following those rules and regulations, how can we expect the desired result? So there are rules like following four regulative principles, be in the association of the devotees, and then following Ekadasi, as it was mentioned in purport by Prabhupada. Ekadasi, all these are the rules for the devotees. If we are following these rules, it is certain that we will get closer to Krishna, and our heart will start transforming. The dust which is accumulated on our heart will start getting removed. And as soon as it will start getting removed, we will start enjoying whatever we are doing. Like in as I said, in the Olympic case, in the beginning, that player will think, okay, why I have to go through this effort? It is really painful. But when it happens constantly, every day, every day, every day, every day, after a certain period of time, that person start enjoying that. Coach doesn't have to guide him. Okay, you have to get up and come to the ground at this particular time. The player, he thinks, okay, I this is my goal. I have to get up. He's not no longer bounded by the coach. This comes as a habit, right? In the similar manner, if we also start following it continuously, it becomes a habit. And there is a saying, like when some activity is being performed for, like, let's say 30 days or something. I'm not getting the exact line, but when certain activity is consistently followed for a 30 days, then it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habits that consistency automatically comes. So we need to understand the routine, the discipline, and we need to practice for that. If we are practicing, then slowly everything starts populating on its own. The only difference in the material world, in the Krishna consciousness, is that those players or anyone who is doing so much of hard work in the material world, they have to go through a lot of punishment, because the coach or whoever the person is, he is not able to follow, they will get punishment to it. But when we are following Krishna consciousness, it is happily performed. That is the difference. When whatever the activities we have to do in Krishna consciousness, that is happily performed. Because how can we perform that happily? Because we start getting the taste, the nectar taste, the higher taste. And Krishna says, right, when we get a high again get higher taste, we that lower taste automatically gets what do you call, uh, लोअर टेस्ट हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता अपने आप, जब हमें हायर टेस्ट मिलता है, राइट? लाइक इफ यू स्टार्ट ईटिंग समथिंग, लेट्स से गुलाब जामुन, which is really tasty, you'll not eat something which doesn't have any taste, like, let's say, chapati or something. Chapati has the taste, but people will ask for gulab jamun instead of chapati, right? That same in the similar manner, when we get higher taste, we start doing things in a happy mood. So that is the point here. So dृढ़ sankalp, this determination is called as दृढ़ संकल्प. And दृढ़ संकल्प का मतलब ये भी होता है कि हमें चाहे कितनी भी परेशानी आ जाए, टॉकिंग अबाउट कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस, हमें वो जो हमारा पाथ है भक्ति का, हमें छोड़ना नहीं है. एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. पांडव पांडवों के ऊपर कितनी सारी परेशानियां आई थी. दे हैड टू गो थ्रू लॉट ऑफ ट्रबल्स व्हेन दे वर यंग. आई मीन, व्हेन दे वर एट वेरी यंग एज, उनके उनके पिताजी का साया उनके सर से हट गया. व्हेन दे बिकेम लिटिल बिट ओल्डर, उनके रिलेटिव्स ने उनको परेशान करने की कोशिश किया, भीम को जहर देके उनको मारने की कोशिश किया. एंड देन एट लेटर स्टेज उनको घर से भी बाहर निकाल दिया. दे हैव टू लिव इन द फॉरेस्ट. एंड व्हेन दे वर लिविंग इन द फॉरेस्ट, दुर्योधन ट्राइड बर्निंग दैट हाउस एज वेल. हिज वाइफ द्रौपदी का चीर हरण करने का कोशिश हुआ. सो मच ऑफ दे humiliated Pandavas. Even after going through such a strong what do you call, distress or problems, they never left surrendering to Krishna. They always followed the instructions of Krishna. That is called Dhrana Sankalp. चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, we have to follow this path. And that is why they became glorious, because they were under the protection of Krishna. Why they got that protection? Because they had the determination. Okay, whatever is happening, let it happen. I have to follow this path. I have whatever is instructed by Krishna to us, we will follow that. So that is, we should also consider that as our goal. Whatever we have taken as sankalp, and our sankalp is nothing big, small. We have to chant 16 rounds. We have to follow 4 regulative principles. We have to take us devotee association, and we need to start a habit of reading and hearing. If we start with this, by taking the sankalp of this much, everything will start, other things will start populating automatically. Okay, next thing is bowing down in before me. So bowing down is very important, because when we bow down, we get mercy. Let's say, Srila Prabhupada says, I have written that. Srila Prabhupada says in his lecture, you are bowing down to everyone. You are bowing down to death. You are bowing down to disease. You are bowing down to old age. You are bowing down to so many things. And still, you are thinking, I cannot bow down. I don't like to bow down. That is why we are forced to bow down in distress to Maya. But if we are happily bowing down to Krishna and Krishna's representative, then we are happy. We are eternally happy. We will feel the bliss. So this is what Srila Prabhupada said in one of his lecture I was hearing. So even if we don't bow down to Krishna, or if we don't bow down to Maya, then we are forced to bow down to other things. Uh, if, in general, if you say if you don't bow down, I mean, general people also, you see, like they have to bow down to one or the other person. They have to bow down in front of their boss, because whatever the boss say, they have to listen. It's not like bowing down in front, just like down. For us, when we are in Krishna conscious, when bow down means like completely surrender to Krishna and uh, bend yourself in front of Krishna. And when even if, like, when we are going down to devotees, they pass the mercy to you. And uh, when we are going down to devotees, they feel really happy about it. And then when they feel happy, they because they are exalted person, they are senior Vaishnavas, they have experienced, they have the experience in bhakti. They will pass certain some what you call, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द राइट वर्ड, बट वो आपको भक्ति प्रदान कर सकते हैं अपने दिल से, लाइक फ्रॉम हार्ट टू हार्ट दे कैन ट्रांसफॉर्म दैट. एंड बाय डूइंग दैट इटसेल्फ वी विल get lot of mercy, and we will start following so many things. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, he says, while paying obeisances to Krishna, if we are not meditating Krishna in a prayerful mood, then we are simply doing gymnastics. So this is one important thing. Many people, they just act like going down. They just go and do this and come. But when we are going down, what should be our mood? Our mood should be that we have to meditate on Krishna. How is Krishna's form? We need to think about Krishna, and we need to absorb that. And if we are not doing that, that means this is simply a gymnastics. Like one day, Matrapati Prabhu was explaining in his class, when we are contemplating Tulsi Maharani, if we are not in that mood, that means we are just doing what you call walking. We are not doing pradakshina. It's just like walking. If we are in the mood of offering obeisances or offering prayers to Tulsi Maharani, then only it will be considered pradakshina. So it is very important for going down, even in material world. Like if Gaur Gopal Prabhu, he tell in his motivational lectures that अगर हम झुकना नहीं सीखेंगे, अगर हम झुकेंगे नहीं, तो हम हमारे जो रिश्ते हैं वो हम बना के नहीं रख पाएंगे. वो रिश्ते बनाना मुश्किल है, क्योंकि जब तक आप प्राइड के साथ आगे रहोगे कि नो, दिस इज नॉट माई मिस्टेक, ये आपका प्राइड है, जब तक आपका प्राइड आपके आगे रहेगा, तब तक आप कुछ भी अचीव नहीं कर सकते. वो जो आपके रिलेशंस है ना, वो भी दूर हो जाएंगे. इन द सिमिलर मैनर, इफ यू विल कीप दैट प्राइड, इफ यू विल नॉट बो डाउन इन फ्रंट ऑफ deities, इन फ्रंट ऑफ सीनियर वैष्णवस, दैट प्राइड विल टेक यू डाउन. इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग डाउन, you will go down. But if you go down, then you will reach the heights. And what can be that height? That height is Krishna Prema and Krishna Bhakti, and then reaching back to home, back to Godhead. And since we are running short of time, let's move to the next thing, which is worship. And worship, why worship is important? Worship is one of the process of doing service and prayers. And why prayers? Prayers has a lot of powers. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has many shlokas, he has explained this in 9.34. And the same sloka comes in chapter 18. I'm not remembering the sloka, 18 point some 6 something, where he says, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhaktu Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru, bowing down to me and do my worship. Here also Krishna is saying, Mahatmas, those great souls, they are worshipping me with devotion. Right? Worshipping is prayers. And not when we do intense prayer, Krishna listen to those prayers. Gaurang Prabhu in his lecture, he was explaining, we call police or we call ambulance when there is an emergency. But we call Krishna as well. We can call Krishna as well, but we call Krishna only when we are in distress or we are in deep trouble. But what we need to understand is Krishna is not police or ambulance who will come to take the what you call take your distress away. Instead, what we need to understand, Krishna is always with us. So we need to keep Krishna's number always in the speed dial. It's not only in distress, we need to think always Nirantar, Satatam, always that number should be in the speed dial. That way we will worship Krishna. So during the worship, what happens? We are engaged in the personal relationship with Krishna. We are dealing personally with Krishna, and when we are dealing personally with Krishna, automatically the heart gets purified, and we Krishna reciprocates. Krishna starts reciprocating to yourself. So when you are doing worship, you will be looking at the deities, and when you will be looking at the deities, automatically those thoughts which are running behind you, or so many bad thoughts and all start they will put a I mean those stops will start your focus will not go into those thoughts. Then you will slowly start looking at the deities. You will start feeling the beauty of the deities, and then with that process the purification will happen, and with that purification you will realize, okay, Krishna is reciprocating with me. So, first is prayers, and then second is service. Service is also worship. When we are doing some service, it's not only to Krishna, but to devotees or whatever being assigned to you is service, because that is assigned to you by Krishna. Like when you are in family, you have to do so many things for your wife or your kids, because they have been provided to you to take care of them. So that is service. Now you need to think that this is, when I am doing something for them, I am doing service to Krishna, and that is also one form of service. So that way we can do the worship, and worship is also very important. So these four things, if we are doing constantly, Satatam, we are doing always Satatam, then we will start following the footsteps of Mahatma. Like Guru Maharaj, he is coming to Madurai end of this month. He is constantly traveling, even if he has so much of troubles. He has so many he has so many problems. Then also he is not sitting in Mayapur only. He is traveling constantly. He is going to multiple places. Srila Prabhupada, uh, he went to US, America, and he preached to hippies, but he was able to focus that because he was following all these four which is mentioned here, all these 4 points, that chanting the glories, bowing down, worship, and great determination, enduring with great determination. Whatever he was doing with, he had the great determination that I am going there. My Guru Maharaj has instructed me. I will uh, preach there, and I will convert them to I'll convert them to a devote to the devotees, and that the transformation happened. We all know how great transformation happened, and we are here. We are sitting together because of Srila Prabhupada. So that is something which we need to understand. And there is one bhajan. I'll not go much detail in this. In this is a bhajan of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Um, Vara Prabhu was during his Bhakti Vriksha class, he has covered this song, and this is one good song which we should also understand. It connects to our sloka, that Bol Hari Bol, Maner Anande Bhai, Bol Hari Bol. बोल हरि बोल मानव जन्म पे पाए बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल संपदे विपत्ति भाई बोल हरि बोल. We have to chant the glories of Krishna because we have got this human body, and because whether we are in distress or whether we are in happiness, we should chant the name of Hari. And it goes further, that whether we are rich or whether we are poor, we need to chant the name of the Hari at any point, whether we are in home or we are in forest. We should chant the name of the Hari. Bol Hari Bol. So with that, I will end my class here. Hare Krishna, and please ask if you have any questions, or please forgive me if I have done any mistake. Hare Krishna.